How new is the new covenant? It's an interesting question that's been argued about for 2,000 years. On the one hand, you have folks who think that Jesus came just to kind of modify and adjust the old covenant. They think that he just came to renew the old covenant with Israel, basically keep the same thing going, but just change it a little bit and bring it back to where it should be. They would even have you believe that you have to become practicing Jewish in your feasts and observance and Shabbat, and that Christians need to do that because the horrible Gentile Greek church ruined the Jewish expression. So that's one extreme. Then you've got another extreme who thinks the new covenant is so new that the ethics of Jesus don't matter anymore. That anything done before Pentecost, that was to the old creation order, and that Jesus' teachings in the Sermon on the Mount don't apply to believers. That we're basically in a get out of jail free sort of environment. I've heard somebody even say, well, you don't have to worry about it because God's in the forgiving business since Calvary. Is there something in the middle? I'm committed to a radical expression of the grace of God, free from the constraints of legalism, performance-based religion, bondage, manipulation, depression, guilt, shame, all the things that are typically done in many religious environments to keep people under control. And in this book, written at an intermediate level, it's not a devotional read, it's not like Max Lucado or Joel Osteen. It's not a low devotional read, but neither is it high scholastic. It's someplace in the middle. It's written at a leadership at a post-high school level. And in this book, I take a look at the simple phrase, Jesus is Lord. What is the implication of that simple phrase? What did it mean to the church? What did it mean to Judaism at the time of Christ? Second Temple era Judaism, when Jesus and Paul and all the apostles were living. What was going on in Judaism at that time when Jesus comes and the declaration is made to the church that he's Lord? What did it mean to Rome? When you said Jesus is Lord, when a Christian declared Jesus is Lord, what did that do in their relationship to Rome and Caesar? Very interesting stuff I found. We'll also take a look at Jesus is Lord in relationship to Scripture. How did the first century apostles, those that followed them in the first few centuries, how did they explain this man, resurrected man, whom they declared to be God, who they thought they could worship, a God-man in resurrection? How did they explain that from the Scriptures? It's not easy. Literalism versus non-literalism. Why did Paul use a non-literal rendering of the Abraham, Sarah, and Isaac story to justify Christianity? What does it mean to declare Jesus is Lord over the Scriptures? We take a look at the relationship of Paul and Torah. I already hinted at that a little bit. We take a look at Jewish roots movement, Jewish Restorationism, the sentiment that, we need to recover the church's Jewishness in order to make the last day goals of Jesus, the desire of the Father for the church. If this sounds interesting to you, if you know folks who are confused, that they seem to be, on the one hand, speaking and living in a new covenant grace of God, but on the other hand, messed up in various forms of bondage and legalism. If you know folks who seem to be using their freedom for just carnality and doing anything they want, this book is for you. It's available here, Kindle, EPUB, PDF, and softcover. I hope you check it out. If you're interested again in more info, check us out at stevecrosby.org. Thanks for stopping by. How new is the new covenant?